If you're a celiac who loves Halloween festivities, you love diving into pumpkins and ghoulish themed things, this video is for you. We're going to be talking about some of those really heavily Halloween themed candies and whether or not they are gluten-free. If you're new here, hi, my name is Taylor. I'm a registered dietitian specializing in celiac, and I've been living with celiac for 10 plus years. And identifying gluten in candy in the United States can feel a little tricky. It can feel a little cumbersome, especially if you want to be able to just like mindlessly snack from different candy bowls. But today I'm going to be talking about some of the Halloween themed candies you might see and if they are gluten-free. So we're going to kick things off with Dove pumpkins. I have the bag and the label kind of here, and then I have the ingredients here. And here we can see, if we're reading the ingredient list, that the Dove pumpkins, the milk chocolate Dove pumpkins, contain barley malt extract. And if you go through the ingredients, you can literally just stop at the barley and malt extract. We know that that's not safe regardless of what else is in this product. And so we know that this is not safe for people who have celiac disease. I do want to note, though, that sometimes people will rely on the contain statement to tell them if gluten is in a product. So in this case, they might rely on it saying contains wheat. However, that contain statement, this is a great example of that, it does not include barley and rye in the United States. So you have to still read the ingredients to make sure that there is no barley and rye, even if it doesn't say contains wheat. Here we also see an allergen advisory statement that says it may contain wheat. That's a completely different statement from the allergy information. We'll talk more about that in other examples, but here we can clearly see the Dove pumpkins contain barley malt extract, so we know that they're not going to be safe, and we can move on to the next label. So not gluten-free. Now we have Ghost Toast Kit Kat. If you know about Kit Kats, and you already know they're not going to be gluten-free, but here's a great example of how, if we just look at that contain statement, that allergen statement that's required in the USA, again, that's different from the allergen advisory that I just mentioned. It says contains wheat. If we just look there, we can quickly see there's wheat in this product, and we don't need to look any further, but we can see there's wheat flour, so this is not going to be gluten-free. So unfortunately, no Ghost Toast Kit Kats. However, I want to say, I think that branding is so cute. And if Kit Kat ever wants to make their candies gluten-free, they've got a loyal customer in me. So they should consider it. All right, so now we're getting into a little bit more complex labels. And actually for Reese's holiday shapes, I've got a video all about these, either up or it's coming. But here we're looking at the Reese's Bats label. And we're going to start with the ingredients because there is no gluten-free claim. So if we're looking at the ingredients, we're reading all the way through, looking for anything that obviously contains gluten or anything that could potentially hide gluten if the contain statement doesn't say it contains wheat. And I'm not seeing any gluten ingredients in this. If you are not sure what ingredients you're looking for that could contain gluten or can hide gluten in the United States, I've got a totally free label reading class linked down below. It teaches you exactly how I teach all of my clients to read food labels in the United States in 4 simple steps, and it also teaches you those suspicious ingredients you want to look out for. But here, there are no obvious signs of gluten, and there are no suspicious ingredients to watch out for, so we know that these are gluten-free based on ingredients. They do not have a gluten-free claim. However, a gluten-free claim is not always required. In this case, they do not contain gluten in the ingredients. And we know that also these are made by Hershey, and Hershey has allergen protocols. I've contacted them, I've talked to them about it. So these are gluten-free with no claim. However, if you're someone with celiac who prefers a claim, you feel like it doesn't impact your quality of life too much, or you're someone who needs a gluten-free claim for whatever reason, then obviously this would not be something that you would eat. However, there is no gluten in these ingredients, and if you watch that totally free label reading class, I teach you all of the actual risks and help you evaluate the risks and discuss the research in simple to understand terms, or simple to I'm not bogging you down in research, but I'm simply explaining it so you know is this really a risk or is it not? Is it something you want to make an informed choice around in eating or avoiding? In that class, I cover it all. But in general, these are going to be gluten-free with no gluten-free claim. And that's just because they don't have gluten ingredients. So again, they don't have that gluten-free claim, but they also don't have gluten ingredients. So based on your own decision on how you want to or how you need to manage your celiac, these may be an option. I'm certainly enjoying them. I actually think the bats are super fun. They also make ghosts, which I think are also fun. I don't know why. I think I'm like a ghost Halloween person. Like I love ghost themed stuff. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Okay. Now we have Snickers Ghoulish Green, and I think these are really fun. I don't know why. I think it's so fun to get all festive with candy, or with anything really. But these are Ghoulish Green Snickers. They look super fun. We don't have a gluten-free claim, but we're going to start with the ingredients, and we're just going to look through the ingredients again to see if we see any obvious signs of gluten, or if we see any suspicious ingredients that could hide gluten. So one thing I want to note, and I didn't note this about the Reese's label, is there's two things here that we need to pay attention to. First, there is no may contain, which is the allergen advisory. That doesn't even say may contain wheat. Also, the contain statement does not say contains wheat. Remember, these are two separate things. If you're not sure what the difference is between these two things, it is actually huge. And if you want to understand that to be able to make more informed choices about labels, check out that free class down below. But some things we need to note is artificial flavor. Oftentimes people confuse natural flavors with artificial flavors, and these are also two separate ingredients. Artificial flavors are always going to be gluten-free in the United States, no matter what. It's natural flavors that could potentially hide gluten. So we're not worried about artificial flavors. And then something else that I think often gets overlooked, I've talked about different gluten-free candies in the past, and people will say they make them really sick. And I think ultimately, listen to your body. You know your body best, and your body is the best. Like, you need to trust it. You need to honor it. And I think what's important to understand is with celiac disease, there are a lot of things that are happening that could potentially impact digestion and tolerance of different foods, especially if you are still healing. One of those things is that we know the damage to the small intestine with celiac disease can impact the villi, but also the brush border where digestive enzymes like lactase are released, and lactase is what helps you break down lactose. So if we go back to this slide here, we see like this ingredient right here, there's lactose used to sweeten this in this product. And lactose, if you are not properly releasing lactase, which is why we see a lot of lactose intolerance in people with celiac because of that damage specifically to the brush border, which could help release lactase, which releases lactase and helps you digest lactose. If you're not doing that, or you're not doing that adequately, you could have an intolerance to lactose. And if you're eating candies, a lot of them too, more frequently during the Halloween season, that have lactose in them, that could also play a role in why you might not feel well when you're eating these candies. Additionally, like there's lots of other things that could be happening with candy that could potentially make you feel unwell, and it can be tricky to be able to tease out, like, is it gluten exposure? Is it something else? And in that, I just wanted to make note here specifically, you see there's lactose here, and I know from experience working with celiac clients as a celiac dietitian, this is one of the things that can be a little bit trickier for people with celiac to digest, especially if they're still healing. Not that you need to avoid it, but that if you're not feeling well, it could be because there's lactose, and you may want to consider a digestive enzyme for lactose, like lactase. You may want to take lactase when you're eating products with lactose, or again, just consult your dietitian to see how you should approach it. So just wanted to make that note. But Snickers, there are no gluten ingredients, and it's gluten-free with no claim. So based on how you want to approach that again with your celiac management, I help you weigh all the research and all of that in that free class if you're not sure how to approach it. But these are gluten-free with no claim based on the ingredients. I would certainly enjoy them. They look like a lot of fun. I actually might pick up a bag just for the novelty of it. My ADHD, I know why I love these Halloween themed things. It's my ADHD. I love the novelty of it. It just makes it like 20 times more exciting for like just like a little bit of effort, and it's 20 times more exciting. Okay. Now we have M&M's Ghouls Mix, and we're going to start with the same thing again. We're just looking at the ingredients, seeing if we see any obvious signs of gluten, or if we see any any potential ingredients that could potentially hide gluten. So I'm reading all the way through. Again, I'm noting that there's lactose in this. I'm also noting that there's natural flavors that could potentially hide gluten. And I'm not seeing any other obvious signs or suspicious signs of gluten. So the only thing that we're going to need to do then here is check on the natural flavors and see if they're derived from gluten-based ingredients. So barley, rye, or wheat. And if it was derived from wheat, actually we already know it's not derived from wheat because it would be listed in the allergy information or the contain statement here. Or it would be clearly like in parentheses listed as wheat and bolded or somehow made really obvious on the ingredients. So we need to check on the natural flavors, and I've already got written here. I've already talked to Mars Wrigley. They're the people who make, the company who makes M&Ms, and they did state that they do not hide gluten and natural flavors in their products. So we know that this is going to be gluten-free based on ingredients, but there is no gluten-free claim. And I also need to note a lot of companies are going to have products that are gluten-free based on ingredients and likely meet gluten-free criteria, but they're not going to put the claim on there for a lot of different reasons. This is a seasonal product. They're going to have to do all this testing to verify it's gluten-free. There's a lot of things that could go behind why they're not putting it there. It's not a required term to be used if a product's gluten-free. There's just a lot of things going on here, but it's gluten-free with no claim. Again, based on how you want to approach this, you may eat these. And again, in that free label reading class, link down below, that teaches you how to read a food label in 4 simple steps and explains the research and helps you make your own informed choices. I explain why you actually may be able to eat these with less risk than you may assume, or than what a lot of Facebook groups or a lot of celiac forums might have you believing. So if you want to watch that, it's linked down below, totally free. Now we have Skittles Shriekers, and I'm a sour candy fan, okay? I absolutely love sour candy. Sour candy is my favorite kind of candy. I mean, I like chocolate, but I love sour candy. And I tried these, and they were really not that sour. They're some of them are so sour, it might make you shriek on the front. And I'm like, okay, all right, I tried them. I'm giving it away, they're gluten-free. And then I was like, that was literally not even sour. If you've got sour candy recommendations, you feel like you've got some delicious gluten-free sour candy recommendations, let me know. I took a real big hit when I was diagnosed with celiac and could no longer eat sour straws. Those were my favorite sour candy, and I've not been able to find a substitute since. But if you've got favorite sour candies, let me know down below. I'm like a sour candy connoisseur, if you will, and I'm always looking for new sour candies to try. So anyways, these have a gluten-free claim. You can see right here underneath the ingredients it says gluten-free, so we don't need to go any further than this. It's gluten-free with the claim. It's going to be safe. We can enjoy that. And then I think this is the last candy label we'll be covering in this video today, which are the Tootsie Caramel Apple Pops. I was so shocked to find out that these were gluten-free, and these are so good. I feel like the apple underneath the caramel, it's like this perfect sour-sweet combination. What I don't like is how the caramel gets stuck in my teeth. And so it is a challenge. It's like a fun little challenge for me to try not to chew on the sucker and just suck on it. So I'm getting the caramel and I'm getting the apple, and I'm not getting caramel stuck in my teeth, because that's my least favorite thing. Anyways, I give it away though. There's the gluten-free claim right here, and last time I checked, I believe all Tootsie products are actually gluten-free, if I'm not mistaken. Always check products for your own safety and make sure they meet your own needs. But these have a gluten-free claim, so they're going to be gluten-free with a claim. For the most part, you're not going to need to go any further than this. This is going to be safe for most celiacs. So all of that said, I hope this was helpful. I hope you found a new fun Halloween candy that you want to try, and you also have a better idea of what to avoid. If you need more help with knowing what candy is safe in the USA and just any food label in the USA, I've got, again, that totally free label reading class led by me, a celiac dietitian, that'll teach you how to read a food label in 4 simple steps. Seriously, it's going to make your life so much smoother at the grocery store, and it's going to be so much more accurate than any food label scanning app. Those things can be unnecessarily scary and unnecessarily restrictive. I explain all the research and all of that in that free class, link down below if you're interested. Again, totally free. And all that said, if you want more content from a celiac specialized registered dietitian and also a fellow celiac of 10 plus years, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And again, if you're a sour candy fan like me and you've got some sour candies that you think I need to try or you want to put on my radar, please, please, please let me know. Comment down below. And all of that said, I will see you when I see you.